Well, I'm geared up for another adventure. I'm in Alberta, but I'll be traveling to Saskatchewan. Now, the gold panning rules in Saskatchewan are a little odd from my understanding, so I obtained a phone number. I'm going to make a phone call and see exactly what they have to say. Because apparently you can gold pan, but you're not allowed to use a shovel. So I'm wondering, what am I going to use as a shovel? Do I have to use another gold pan to dig the dirt and scoop it into the pan I'm going to pan? I don't know. But I'm going to make a phone call. I'm going to record this phone call for you guys to hear, and hopefully everything kind of works out well in the end. And also, I'm running out of battery too, so hopefully that works out well too. Yay.
Good morning, Service Desk Austin speaking.
Hello, I'm from out of province, and I was going to Saskatchewan to do some visit family, and also I wanted to do some gold panning. But in my research, it looked like you're not allowed to use a shovel.
No, you're not allowed to, no.
So how do you get the material into your pan? You got to scoop it with your bare hands and risk cutting your hands on sharp rocks and glass and metal, or what's the options here? You got to use could I use a frying pan as a shovel, or could I use a trowel or something? I don't know how I'm going to be able to do this.
I'm just kind of reading through the knowledge article we got here that kind of has what to use.
Okay.
Just let me read through it, skim through it a little bit.
Yeah, cause I don't like the idea of using my bare hands in the dirt there. You know, you get cut and you're just going to get an infection, right? So.
I understand that, yeah. That would not be good. So, it says all recreational gold panning must be done with a gold pan. Sluice boxes, concentrators, jigs, trammels, screens, and dredgers of any size or design are prohibited.
Yeah, I'm just using a gold pan and a classifier, which is like a screen, so you don't get big rocks going into your gold pan. But I'm worried about how I'm going to get the dirt into that, though. You know what I mean? Do I got to use another gold pan as a shovel to put the dirt into the pan I'm going to pan out? I don't know. That's the reason why I figure I'd phone.
Do you want me to send you the information here to kind of read through, and you can...
I got that information. I read through it, but still, it's questionable to me. How am I going to be able to do this? Do I use a small plastic container and take little scoops out of the dirt and then put that into the pan, or
you could do that too. Yeah, just to kind of take the dirt out and
Okay, right on. Yeah, because the way the wording was, it was very, very confusing. And I know I like to do everything by the book. I do stuff on YouTube, so. You know what I mean? If I'm going to be doing something and filming it, I'm making sure I'm not breaking any rules or laws or anything like that, right? And also that way my viewers get a little bit of education at the same time, too.
Okay.
So, a small plastic container or something like that to use as a substitute.
Yeah, just to separate it, and that'd be the best way to go about it, I think.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
because that was one of the things I was kind of curious about the wording. I'm like, okay, well, you can go gold panning, but you can't get the dirt into your pan there, according to what I was reading. I was like, how am I going to do this?
You'll probably have to find a way to kind of separate everything.
I got it's a classifier. It sits inside your gold pan, and it's got a half-inch holes in it. So, when you get into the water, you move your classifier, and all the small stuff goes into your pan, and all the larger rocks and stuff you can get rid of. But as far as getting the material into there, that's what I was wondering, how am I going to accomplish this?
Just kind of reading through more of it as to what
I
would say about that.
Yeah, because generally using a gold pan, you need a shovel or something to get the material in there, but the rule states specifically you're not allowed to use a shovel. So I was like, well, what's a guy to do here?
I don't know too much about this, so what it all entails. But yeah, it's kind of weird. You can't use a shovel though, right?
Exactly. Even just a small shovel. You know what I mean? Yeah, like a blade no more than 6 inches across, or a handle no longer than 3 feet. Like a small size shovel would be, it'd be nice if that was exempt from that. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, the wording on it is it's very like, well, that discourages a lot of people from doing this, and it's it's an enjoyable hobby and it's relaxing. It's nice. I'm out in the river to get sunshine and listen to ducks and things, and if you find gold, that's a bonus. And if you do find gold, it's only going to be like maybe 10 cents worth, right? So.
Yeah. What is trammels? What is that?
A trommel it's you dump your dirt into it, and it's a rotating screen, and all the smaller stuff goes out the bottom and through a sluice run, and all the larger material goes out the other end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. There's screens too, all part of the electrical screens and dredges of any size or design that prohibited. Okay. Hand shovels. They're saying hand shovels in there. No equipment. No. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can see no heavy equipment. No dredges. In BC and Alberta, you're allowed to use a high banker. BC, you're not allowed to use a trommel, but you can if you're permitted and all this stuff. And there's an extensive deposit system you got to put down, and you got to apply for it. And sometimes it takes up to 2 years to get approval just to run something that you can use a shovel with, right? So it's a really convoluted kind of pain in the butt system, but it is what it is. And I'm just trying to do everything legally in the right way. You know what I mean? I don't want to put myself into poop creek.
I get that, yeah.
Then doesn't like videotaping yourself committing a crime. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. So just follow what it says on there, and I mean, as for the dirt, I imagine you just put it in that cup there and separate it best you can. So.
All right. Well, then I will buy some sort of small plastic container that I can use to scoop the dirt with, and then put it into the gold pan instead of using a shovel.
Yeah, just don't use the shovel.
Yeah. And it's like even like a garden little scooper shovel. You know what I mean? Like a one-hander kind of thing, a little tiny thing that's no more than a foot long.
Yeah.
You can't even use that according to that. So I wish that would be kind of cleaned up. You know what I mean? Like I say, a shovel no more than 6 inches across, and a handle no more than 4 feet in length. You know what I mean? Something a little bit easier than that. So that way you're allowed to use a small size shovel at least for that. You know what I mean? So something that you can't use as a pry bar, or, you know what I mean? Like a bigger shovel, you can get a lot deeper, and you can move a little bit more rock with, whereas a smaller shovel you can't. So yeah, it'd be nice to get that kind of figured out. So that's why I was phoning today. So I will bring me a plastic container to use as a scoop, which will destroy the plastic container, but that's okay. Maybe even a tin can might work. I wonder if I got one of those. Yeah. Okay, right on. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I just wanted to seek clarification on this before I do anything that could put me into jeopardy. So, thank you very much.
No problem. All right, take care, man.
All right, bye. Well, there you go. You heard it there. Not allowed to use a shovel of any kind. You can use something as a shovel. A tin can. A plastic bucket. Another gold pan. They almost want you to use your hands and risk lacerating them. And you think about how many sewage treatment plants empty into the North Saskatchewan River. How many ducks go poop in there. You lacerate your hand in that water, you're just begging for an infection. Bureaucracy at its finest. And like I said on the phone, it should be down to a certain size shovel, you know what I mean? Like something small, something that's with a shorter handle, but no. That's clearly people making rules who don't know what they're talking about. That's the whole bureaucracy thing. Well, hopefully that phone call did a little something. Hopefully the Saskatchewan government could amend those rules and make it a little bit more user-friendly for people to come to their province and do some recreational gold panning. Although the North Saskatchewan River in Saskatchewan might not have much for gold, but at least, it allows people to get there. Another thing you also have to do in Saskatchewan is have approval from, if you're on private land, you have to have approval from the property owner. And fortunately, I should be able to attain that because where I'm going to, I'm visiting family members, and they have a farm that is adjacent and on the Saskatchewan River, so I'm pretty sure I should be able to get approval from that. But if I'm going to videotape anything, I want to make sure I'm doing everything by the book and on the up and up, because you know, that's the last thing, like I said on the phone there. I don't want to be on videotape committing a crime. It's ridiculous. Oh. Anyways, next time you guys see this video, hopefully we'll be panning on the North Saskatchewan River. Using a tin can or a plastic container to scoop the dirt. Oh, lordy. This is going to be funny to edit. I'm going to be just giggling my butt off. Till then, I'll see you in Saskatchewan. Well, I'm in Saskatchewan. Here we are. Now, I thought I was going to be on the North Saskatchewan River. It has been a while since I've been in Saskatchewan, so you'll have to forgive me. I'm actually on the South Saskatchewan River. One that's, ooh, birds. A little bit lesser known for gold. But one thing that's kind of cool about this spot is inside bend and gravel. Heck yeah. So, let's just get out here a little ways. Oh, like the North Saskatchewan, she's a little mucky. Yeah. Oh, she's solid underneath here, boys and girls. And crystal clear. Look at this. This is going to be a fun one. So, I'm liking this stuff right here. Unfortunately, the rules in Saskatchewan are not too conducive for gold panning. You can gold pan in Saskatchewan, but you can't use a shovel to do it. So, time to get creative. Fortunately, I'm a pretty creative fellow. So, we're going to take out some stuff and figure out what's going on. Now, when you're in Saskatchewan, like I said before, is you got to make sure you have permission from the landowner and the landowner's dog. That landowner just happens to be a family member. So I am in. Okay, I'm going to set this camera up here in this nice little high dry spot. And I'm going to give you guys a little rundown on what I got in the old backpack here. Alright. Yeah, no shovel. So you gotta scoop stuff either with your hands and risk getting lacerated, or you need to use a coffee tin, a container, anything but a shovel. Dum 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 dum. So here we are. Somewhere's in here I got a pair of rubber gloves. That's one of them. There's the other one. And here we go, one of these fancy dancy sniffer bottles. But I'm just going to put that in the back pocket in the hopes I'm going to need it. So I probably won't get so lucky. But, oh yes, another thing, make sure you got some fluid. Stay hydrated, folks. I'm going to have me a little bit of a smoke, a little bit of a juice, and then a little bit of a scooping. You can't say shoveling. Not shoveling. Rules. Yep. Dumb rules invented by dumber people. Part of the reason why our country is failing so horribly. We got people making rules that don't know what they're making rules about. And you see it all across the board. You know, in municipalities, not letting you metal detect in certain places when in reality you're just cleaning up garbage. Like going to a public beach, for example, metal detecting. You know how many nails, bolts, other things that you remove that actually can cause injuries? Quite a bit. It's rare you find coins. Sometimes you do. It's even more rare to find jewelry. And you find a lot of garbage. As long as you fill in your hole and you pack that dirt in there, you're leaving the place significantly better than what you found it. And yet they don't let you do that. A lot of places. Gold panning. That's down to each province. Each province has various rules. Alberta's pretty darn good, actually, I have to say. I like the way they do that. BC is a little bit more legitimate because you got a little bit more gold there. Alberta's is pretty much the most chill, easygoing that I've seen. I'm not so sure about back east in Ontario. Saskatchewan, they know it's here, but they just don't see the potential of it for being a tourism thing, which is very unfortunate. So I'm kind of curious to see what or if there is anything in the south. But also, in the early 1900s, this whole river was dredged. So they were obviously finding something here to dredge it, So hopefully we get lucky. And oddly enough, where I'm at is actually one of those dredged locations. When I first started this video, that's where they were discharging the tailings on the side of the river here. So hopefully, if lucky, what I'm getting into over here might actually have some gold in it. And I'm going to turn this camera off. I'm going to do a couple pans and actually no, I'm going to leave this camera on so you can see the absurdity of me scooping dirt with a metal tin. It's just dangerous, dumb. Like that's the whole reason why we use shovels, so we don't hurt our hands. You're dipping your hand in water, you get a cut, and you're going to get an infection. You just don't get it. It's just not safe. Life don't get much better than this, my friends. Oh yeah. What not much leaves. Yeah, it's sunny, but it's also windy and not too conducive for gold mining, I'll say that much, Sure, it's above zero, but it's just chilly. So I'm going to start out literally right here. I'm going to take a couple scoops and see how she's sitting. And unfortunately, without a shovel, reclamation becomes quite difficult. So I don't know how the heck I'm going to even fill this hole in. I think I'm just going to kind of shove stuff from around the edge and try to kind of level it off. We got tools for reasons. It's so doesn't make sense. We evolved from cavemen by making tools, and then here we are, so evolved, and they take the option of using a tool away from a man. Does that mean the person that made the rules is dumber than a caveman? Quite possibly. Alright. Got my little cigar fix in there. Kind of gloved up. Oh, this is just ridiculous. Okay, I'm just gonna pick this up and about there. Hey, that looks looking pretty good. Nice and solid. My gravelly here. I just can't believe I'm having to dig with a head. Alright, let's fill this up a good little ways. Bring it into here where I'm going to be. I don't want to say digging. I don't want to use anything that could be synonymous with a shovel. I want to give a special thanks to my Uncle Leo for letting me. Yeah, see, this is how you're going to cut a hand. Nice enough to give me a tin. Oh my God, this is dumb. Ladies and gentlemen, this is bureaucracy at its worst. Anybody in the government of Saskatchewan who's watching this right now, I hope you can see the error of your ways. I'm just a BC boy that's trying to come here as a tourist, spend a little time with friends and family, do a little bit of gold panning on the side, and here I am risking cutting my hand open for the sake of a hobby, that is. Crying out loud, I think I'd have better luck using this as a gold pan. I'm just going to move this to some deeper water. Yeah, I really wish we were allowed to. the proper tools. Alright, coming on back. Okay, we got the classifier here. I'm literally dumping it right close to the hole that I'm working. That way when it comes time I can just kind of smoosh it back in there. Move this larger rock out of the way. Yeah, this is so dumb and dangerous. I'm really not impressed by the problems of Saskatchewan and their silly rule. This is just still so silly and dumb. Just let a man use a shovel, will you? No, you're gonna let him risk his hands. Oh man, there's so much broken glass in this river. You know, it's only been used as a garbage dump since, 1880s. Almost 150 years ago. You gotta bend this core tin, it's just getting demolished. Use that and clean up your rough. That's kind of a bonus. Can't do that with a shovel. Oh my goodness. This is so stupid. Alright. A panful. Time to go see what's in there. At least it's on the inside of the bottom. Not like in North Saskatchewan where it's all quicksand and ugly. That I like. Way less play here. Way less play. I'm literally just going to pan out the last little bit of it into the very hole I was digging from, just because it's a hole. Well, surprisingly a large amount of garnet. It's kind of cool. And they're nice grade garnet too, really light and pink. But There is gold in the South Saskatchewan River. All be ah, cool. I did not get some. Well, that's nice. Huh. Two little itty bitty teeny tiny pieces. It's a nice looking garnet. Well, that's cool. That's a bonus. Where it's busting out the little snuffer bottle for. As long as the blood doesn't get into the river, I'll be a happy camper. Yeah, in you go, little fellers. Wow. Huh. Lo and behold, holding low. There is gold here. Not much, but some gold's better than no gold. That's kind of cool. I really wish I could use a shovel here. This is so difficult to process material and dig. It's just, it's some. And dangerous. I think I'll find a nice big flat stone. Yep. This is bureaucracy at its worst. But at least there is gold. Incredibly difficult to harvest, but yeah, incredibly unsafe. Yeah. Wow. If I have any viewers who are local to Saskatchewan, I highly recommend that you talk to the powers that be and try to get these rules changed. For the sake of tourism, for the sake of being outside in the nature and getting a little exercise, you need to be able to use a shovel. This is dumb. This is dumb. Only a moron would come up with this rule. This is the silliest thing I have ever seen. Just absolute idiocracy. Like, I want to use my hands so bad, I'm so afraid I'm going to cut my hand. Dumb. only good thing about it is you can use the tin to pour water on through your crossfire to clean up the dirt. One thing you say about the Saskatchewan though, there's a lot of different rocks in here that are not in the rock. Kind of cool. Oh, I just want to reach in there and just use my hands, but I don't want to get cut up. God, this is dumb. That was a pretty good decent one. Oh yeah, I seen a piece already floating around in there. Yeah, I didn't see the rod in his hand. I'll read that. Second pan was better than the first one. Oh, 6 little colors in there. Huh. Actually, not horrible. Give that a second swirling. See how it goes. I'm actually kind of impressed. There's more gold here than I thought, which only highlights the tourist potential. You know what I mean? If the guy wasn't stuck having to use a goddamn tin can. Well. Hey, trying to make a video over here. Shush. Huh. Jerk. Well. After literally finding gold in every pan that I've done so far, and I've only done the 2, I'm kind of impressed. There is gold to be had here, which is really surprising. I'm kind of jamming on it. So, government of Saskatchewan, please change the rules. This is a good place to be doing this. It's a good way to get people outside. It's good exercise. You do clean up the garbage. Example, lead. You're going to find lead shot where you're going to find gold. Let's, work together to help make this Mother Nature thing a little bit better. With that being said, I'm going to go fill in this hole. I'm going to start a new one somewhere else. Ta-da. Should be a heck of a lot easier with a shovel though. Yeah, the fact that there is, gold to be found only highlights the use of proper equipment. So, where I was looking was just a smidgen further downstream here. Let's go have a look. Yep, this place is mucky, yucky, and yucky. Aha. Yes. This is where I was thinking. What do you guys think? You think it's a good spot? Somewhere's around in here. Oh, look at all this fine stuff. Oh, yeah. This is the money shot, boys and girls. This is where it's at. I'm feeling it. Nice big rocks with little gravels. Alright, when dogs are barking like that, just scan the perimeter. Make sure there's nothing with four legs coming down here to stalk you besides a dog. Are you guys barking at me? Silly hoodlums. Alright, now I'm going to set you good folks up here somewhere where it's kind of dry. Ow. Okay. I'm liking this little spot right here. Oh. Yep. This is dumb. Oh, should never be digging with their bare hands. Even with these gloves on. I like my gloves. I don't want to poke a hole in them. It's just dumb. Oh, shush. Yeah, his tin's falling apart, poor damn thing. I'm gonna be good for like 3 pounds. Jeez. I don't know why they don't let you use a bloody shovel. Dumbest thing I have ever seen in my whole days. I said it early. Dumb people making decisions they don't know nothing about. Shovels don't float away. Alright. Jump out the rock. This is just silly. I want to give a special thanks to my... Oh. You know, I was thinking I was filming something. Apparently I was not. There we go. Special thanks to Leo. Let me come and dip a pan and here's a little piece of heaven. Oh God, this is ridiculously stupid. I can't believe they make rules up so dumb. They don't even know what they're talking about. Oh boy. Oh, yeah, that's a full fan. That's a full. Alright, we'll see what we got.
I'm more black sands in this one than I was the first couple times. That's a good sign. What? What's she barking at? Quit making all that noise, you bloody fool. You're gonna scare away all the gold. Hey, bud. Came down to join the party? Hi! Unless there's a bear sneaking up on my six, you can hush up. Oh man, there's already gold poking out over here. Frick. Wow, all beat. Huh. What? Colors. Okay. So, I would deem this place actually viable for recreational gold panning. I'm kind of really surprised. That their rules are so stringent here. Really. Well. Hey, you made it down, buddy. Atta boy. Hi. Well, unfortunately I don't got much time, and my tin doesn't have much time left on it either. Yeah, beautiful giants though. I'm gonna get a couple of them too while I'm here. geez, this wasn't a bad pan for this place, I have to say. 2 micros in there I missed. Holy cow, I need to be down here with my reading glasses on. Huh, I'm glad I did that place. Well, I'm gonna wrap up this video. Not the best video, but a good one by my standards. So, I managed to get 3 pens in before my tin kind of, well, I might be able to get a 4th, but this is the tool, and the tool's not looking so good. Results. My basic opinion is the South Saskatchewan River is viable for recreational gold panning. The rules, on the other hand, are not allowing it to be, which is a dreadful shame. The potential for people to be able to dig here, it's great. It's a beautiful location. The spots that you dig, when you reclimate it and you put the gravel back into the hole, seeing how it's loose and porous and not just full of sediment and crevices, you know what I mean? You're actually making habitat for things like crayfish and invertebrates and insects that live in the river. So, you know, you got to look at the pros and cons. A lot of people are like, oh, talking about sediment and silt, and, well, gold panning really doesn't do that much. So they need to make these rules a little different. They need to, I see where they're going with the no shoveling. They don't want people going all crazy. But you need a shovel to gold pan. So let's make it a small shovel. You know, something with a shovel with no more than a 6-inch width, and no longer than a 3 or 4 foot handle. You know, that's a smart way to do it. Gold panning here is viable. There is gold to be found. You know, you're going to get 5 to 7 colors average per pan, as long as you're on, you know, relatively decent little things like this, you know, bigger rocks, nice little gravel, and that extends for hundreds of kilometers along this river. So, yeah, good gold to be had, good gold to be found. So, hopefully the powers that be in Saskatchewan change their tune and allow shoveling. I think it's something I might actually even pursue, even though I don't even live in Saskatchewan. I think it'd be an excellent tourist draw for this region and this area. It also promotes the history of the region and area. The North and South Saskatchewan River were dredged quite extensively in the early 1900s and the late 1800s. So, you know, it needs to be done. Let's step this up, guys. Let's bring some money into your province. Let's get people that live here outside, exploring, appreciating the beauty, the natural views of the area around you. Like, let's just do a little 360 now. Everybody, look what's behind me. Right? Isn't that a nice place to be? Right? Now, it makes it a lot nicer and easier when you have a shovel in your hand. It doesn't have to be a big shovel. It just has to be a shovel. Well, I'm going to sign out on this one. Thanks for watching my Saskatchewan adventure. Thank you to Leo Joubert for letting me come on your property, have a good visit, letting me attend to demolish and destroy, and building a trail down to the river too. That's another bonus. The walk down here was cherry. And thanks everybody for watching. You know, if you like, you know, subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps me out. Share the video. You know, somebody lives in Saskatchewan along one of these rivers, you know. Send the video to them. Buy the fellow a gold pan. Get him outside. Get her outside. Get them. Who gives a crap what gender you are? Anybody can do this. And have fun. With that being said, I'm going to sign out here, and hopefully I get to see you guys next week. Thanks for watching. Bye. What a good day. It was a nice trip. Great experience. I'm jacked.